Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. It's Region Weather Meteorologist Matt Wintz. I want to give you a midweek update in terms of what we're expecting over the course of the next couple of days. There's a really vigorous system coming in from the north and the west. If you're tracking with us this week, it's Clipper System number 3. And they always say good things come in threes, right? Or bad things come in threes. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll talk about that because we're going to have some wind and a big temp drop around here over the next 48 hours. So we'll put some timing on that. And then next week, I've gotten several messages over the last couple of days regarding next week's winter storm, right? There is going to be some kind of storm system in the plains. Again, it's too early to sort out details, but I'll show them to you and kind of give you my thinking in terms of how the forecast will play out next week. So we've got a lot to talk about in this edition of Region Weather Live. This is our midweek update. Thanks for joining us. We're going to run our open and then we'll talk forecasts after this. And welcome in, everybody. We appreciate you joining us here on this Wednesday evening. Hope you're enjoying your work week so far. Perhaps you're not having a work week and you're really enjoying yourself here on vacation. I'm sure that's few and far between in terms of our folks here in the region, hardworking. Want to thank, obviously, our sponsors, Tiger Plumbing. We mentioned them earlier on. If you need any plumbers around Northwest Indiana, boy, they are the ones to go to. And the reason why is because they don't offer a trip fee. I can't say that enough. We got charged $99 for a plumber to come out here a couple weeks ago, and they don't charge that. They'll give you free estimates. Awesome for them. So support them if you can. And then Grieger's, obviously, you know them. Huge car dealership in Valparaiso, family owned, wonderful people to work with. So support them, especially if you need a 4x4 vehicle. That is the place to go for all your Jeep needs. All right, let's talk about the storms next week. We've got a lot to talk about. There's a very active pattern. We continue to see this across the eastern half of the country. We just have this parade of clipper systems that continues to move in from the north and the west. So our most recent one has brought some rain and snow showers. We're still seeing some rain mixing in outside with some of these passing rain and snow showers here this evening. And the reason why, our temperature obviously hasn't really dropped. There's not a lot of cold air. Again, right now we're behind Clipper system number 2. So when I mention Clipper, right, we talk about Alberta Clippers. If you don't know what those are, that's okay. What they are areas of low pressure that develop in the Alberta province of Canada, right? There's also the Manitoba Mauler. If it forms in Manitoba, I'm not making this up. And there's my favorite, the Saskatchewan Screamer, which is an area of low pressure that forms in Saskatchewan, right? Does that make sense? So our most typical ones in Alberta, and this happens this time of year when we have a northwest flow. You get big pushes of energy off the Pacific Ocean. They form an area of low pressure in Canada somewhere. Again, normally it's Alberta, and then they swing our way. And so these kind of systems can drop anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of quick snow. They bring a lot of wind. They bring a quick up with the temps on the front end. They bring a quick fall with the temps on the back end of it. But the last couple we've had, they haven't been that impactful, right? Well, the reason why is because they're passing to the north. We're kind of on the southern periphery of this, so we don't really get the cold air. We don't really get the warm air either, although it's been mild, and we don't get the hit of snow. Tomorrow's is a little bit different, though, as I'll show you here in a second. So Clipper system number 2 has already gone by here tonight. You notice we have some snow showers out there. Again, they're still mixing with rain in spots. And as we go through the modeling, that will eventually change over to all snow showers tonight. I'm not anticipating any big accumulations or anything like that. You may have a dusting, a trace, maybe a half inch if we get a little feed off the lake. But again, tomorrow morning, not expecting a whole lot. As we go throughout the day tomorrow, winds are going to start to relax a little bit again because we're in between Clipper systems. And look at this next one coming at us. If you joined us for our Sunday night Region Weather Live, we were talking about this one being the most impressive of the week. And it's really held true in terms of the modeling. So here's what we've got moving in. This is, again, our Thursday night Friday Clipper. So it's our last Clipper in the series of 3 that we've kind of been tracking this week. And this one's got some potency to it. You see all the lines there on the map. Those are lines of equal pressure. We call those isobars. When you see a lot of those on the map, that just means it's a really tight area, low pressure. And for you, that means it's windy. So this thing's going to pack a punch with some wind coming in. It's going to be a warming wind on the leading edge. You see what moves in here. This is Friday morning, like 2 a.m. So Thursday night, Friday, we'll begin to feel the impacts, likely when most of us are sleeping. But we could get a dose of some heavy snow. It would be big, wet flakes, but it'd be so fast moving through here. I don't think it's going to accumulate to a whole lot. Plus, our temperature is going to be hovering right around the freezing mark. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of accumulation of that either. But again, we get pretty active on Thursday night, Friday morning. So this is 2 a.m. You notice how the initial push goes through. That's actually the warm front with this system. It'll be very windy very early Friday morning. It will continue to be pretty windy Friday as we get into the waking hours for most of us. But you notice how we're kind of rainy around here. Most of the warm air has kind of moved into the system. Cold air still holding back towards the west. But look at this system just swallowing up the Great Lakes in terms of the area low pressure. What we've got Friday afternoon, though, is kind of a calm day. Temperatures will remain mild, but then we've got that temperature crash Friday night and a Saturday as this portion right here. This is kind of a secondary front along it. That's our Arctic front that's going to send our temp downward fast. And again, that's Friday night into Saturday. So you notice how we're quiet much of the day Friday. Maybe some drizzle, maybe some flurries after a very active 2, 3, 4 a.m. Goes kind of quiet. And then Friday evenings when it all kind of transpires in terms of that cold air moving in. So this is what it looks like. This is now 6 o'clock in the evening. This is your evening rush hour. We're still sitting pretty, but then that Arctic front goes through. This is going to be sometime Friday evening. So, as of right now, we're looking at 6, 7, 8 o'clock. We'll likely get a quick hit of snow with this Arctic front. And again, that could produce some real strong winds as well, maybe 30, 40 miles per hour with a snow squall moving through. And that would be Friday evening. And then after that, we just turn cold. Temperatures will drop probably 20 degrees in the matter of a couple hours. We bring back an Arctic air mass. Again, this looks like a potent hit. And then you notice what that kicks off is some widespread lake effect snow. And that could get interesting Friday night into Saturday because this flow is going to be right out of the north. So north flow off the lake tends to favor Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties. If it's a strong enough wind, it'll get down into our southern counties as well. So I foresee some lake effect snow. It doesn't look to be a huge event because it's not going to last long, but I do foresee a pretty decent lake effect snow event as we get on into Friday night and early Saturday especially. So we'll likely have some slick travel Saturday morning as it looks right now. Again, snow totals aren't that impressive off of this. This isn't going to be a 6 to 12 incher, but it's going to be a quick hit where we go from, oh, everything's fine Friday to, wow, it got a lot colder and it's windy. And look, we've got snow all over the place on Saturday morning. Okay, so that's kind of what we're dealing with. I want to talk wind because I think wind is really the secondary issue with this. And then we'll talk temps. And then we'll fast forward to next week because a lot of you, not a lot of you, several of you have messaged me regarding other sites, which is interesting. I get all sorts of screenshots from these other sites that are saying, blockbuster winter storm type, take 2 next week. This is the season, folks. We get storms around here, right? The eastern half of the country, if we go a week without a storm this time of year, that's a big deal. And we have after this last one. So we'll talk about it. There's potential with that one. Here's your wind. So it's kind of breezy out there now, right? We've had gusts of 30 here this evening. Winds back off during the day tomorrow. Here's your Friday system. Look at that initial gust of wind, perhaps 30, 40. Some of the modeling here saying 46 mile per hour wind gusts. This is early Friday morning. Remember that 2, 3, 4 o'clock hour with that warm front pushing through. It doesn't get that windy back behind it, but we still have some gusty winds. This is Friday night, Saturday, gusts to 20, 25. Again, that big push of wind initially is going to be where I think you're going to notice it if you're still up. Look at temperatures. Watch this temperature drop. So we kind of steady out tonight. Tomorrow, likely going to hover around 30 if we can get there, maybe staying in the upper 20s. But look how we get in the envelope of the system. Temperatures will go up Thursday night into Friday morning. So we're already in the mid 30s. We'll have some more melting going on. Friday during the day, fine, right? Mid to upper 30s for highs. And look at this Arctic air coming at us. Again, this is going to be that hit Friday night, likely with the snow squall that moves through. I've predicted enough of these Arctic fronts before, and when they've got this much potency to them, they tend to have almost like a thunderstorm-like squall line, which is real quick, but you get this burst of snow, then it's windy and really cold behind it. And I really think that's how things are going to transpire, again, Friday evening. So if you have Friday evening plans, just start to think about it. Are you going to be stranded wherever you are? Absolutely not. But you might have to show off, if you're doing a Valentine's Day dinner, Might have to show your date some winter weather driving skills. Isn't that nice? That's something that all partners need in the other partner, right? But here you go. You notice as we go through time, this is Friday evening. This is when you're out for dinner right here. This is actually early afternoon. Out for dinner, temperatures crash. I mean, we go down to like 10 degrees Friday night into Saturday morning. So big temperature crash. You see how quickly that comes in too, with a big change of air masses. All right. So that's what we're dealing with near term. Let's go long term now. And I want to show you kind of the pattern change that we have taking place again as we fast forward into next week. So what we're dealing with this weekend is the same pattern we've been in all week long, where we have Clipper system, Clipper system, Clipper system. And again, Fridays is the last Clipper system, right? Then we get a break from that pattern. What's going to disrupt this pattern? Well, I'm going to kick it off on Saturday. You notice how we have some lake snow around. Watch out west, out towards Washington and Oregon. Big area of low pressure comes in. This is a Monday arrival on this thing. Doesn't look like much. We're still chilly across the eastern U.S. There's really no systems to deal with. The models were hinting yesterday at an area of light snow that would move through on Valentine's Day on Monday, but it really kind of poo-foos that. Over the last couple model runs, it's not even picking up on any snow now. But the system out west is going to be the pattern changer. So it comes barreling in to a western area that's actually been really dry since it got hit really hard in December. And why have they been dry? Well, because we've been having the cold air. So you get a ridge out there, we get the trough out east. So whenever we're really cold in the eastern half of the country, you can bet it's dry and warm out west. Not for long, though. Here's that Monday system coming on in. Tuesday, you notice how the path it takes is down towards the Four Corners region. So it's diving down. So that's disrupting our seesaw, right? We have the cold air in the east, the warmth out west. Well, this is now getting pushed down. So that's going to create more of a pattern like this, where the storm tracks open up. You guessed it, the Gulf of Mexico once again, right? So we're going to open up the Gulf next week. That means we bring back storm systems that have the potential to produce quite a bit of precip, right? Because we're opening up all that moisture. So what's the Euro say happens with this? Here comes the low pressure out of the Four Corners region. Here comes our system. This gets together on Thursday, is I think when we first start to notice it. The Euro has us on the warmer side of things, all right? I tend to agree with the Euro right now. Most of the other modeling keeps us right in between or on the colder side. But boy, the way the warmth has gone this week down to our south, they've been in the 60s and 70s, not too far south of us. I really think that pattern is going to hold, and that we're going to remain, as of right now, this is my thinking, we're going to remain on the warmer side of this thing, at least initially. So the Euro brings in rain in here on Thursday. Heavy snow breaks out areas of Wisconsin, the North Woods up towards northern Michigan or northern lower Michigan. And then you notice the heavy snow back towards Kansas and Denver. Denver getting into their snowiest season. Usually March is their snowiest month of the year. So they're getting there. They need the snow there. They haven't had much this winter. Then you see as we go through time, we bring in rain, maybe even some thunder with that if the Euro, holds true. And then notice we get colder behind that. But there's not much snow behind this system. The bulk of this, in terms of the Euro, would be north. So the thing I want to show you here, though, is the GFS. Because, again, the Euro kind of in a land of its own right now. This is the GFS model. I'm going to fast forward to next week. This is Wednesday into Thursday. Same idea. Low comes out of the plains, so that's good. We know that's probably going to happen. The track of it is still in question, though, and here's why. Because the GFS has us starting as rain on Thursday, but it has colder air sinking in as it goes. And we turn that rain over to perhaps some icing, so freezing rain, sleet, and then eventually over to some snow on the backside of it by Friday. So that's kind of a different solution than what the Euro is saying, right? And then beyond that, just for kicks, you notice how we turn cold back onto the eastern half of the country. We effectively shut off the Gulf of Mexico until the next week when we bring a couple additional storm systems in here. So it's interesting. So how does that change in terms of snowfall? Well, let's look at it. I'm going to zoom in too, if that's okay. But it really, neither of them have a lot of snow for us right now. Again, this is our snowiest solution, which is the GFS. And you can see as we're zoomed in here, you can get a little better picture how this is going to play out. There's some pretty hefty totals to our north. It's spitting out, I would say, a general 4 to 8 inches with this system. And again, that's north of us right now. You notice Michigan, that's a lot of that has to do with lake effect. But the Euro is even less in terms of us locally. I mean, that has maybe 1 to 3 on us locally next week. But the Euro, you notice it's got the snow way far to the north. That's not the right model run. Let me go to the 12Z. and we'll fast forward here. I knew that didn't look right. Here you go. So here's the euro and what it's saying in terms of that snow. Look how far north that is. It's got higher amounts, but it's further than the north. That's way far away from us. And that tends to lead me to believe if we're not towing the line now with the euro, I kind of think that it's on to something that warm air is going to hold. So that's going to be the interesting system we have to watch next week. And obviously, we'll keep you updated on it. We'll keep you honest on it as well. But as of right now, I will send out no clickbait for everybody saying that this is going to be a huge storm next week, because it's going to be a storm, yes, because we see them this time of year. But is it going to be a huge storm? Absolutely not. All right, so what we'll do is open it up to your questions as always. I hope that helps kind of explain where we go from here. And then we'll get you on your way here on this Wednesday night. I know it's middle of the week, folks. I know it's kind of rough. We're in the middle of the grind right now. So I hope you're doing all right. I hope you can power through the next 2 days till that weekend. I know I'm feeling it. We had that big snowstorm last week. Our whole team of meteorologists was just simply exhausted because our brain doesn't shut off with winter storms. And so this week's kind of like lower key, and we're all just kind of like, ugh. So stay strong for sure. All right, Abigail, you're welcome. And you're welcome as well. Appreciate you guys for sure. Dee, absolutely welcome. Sharon, you're welcome as well. Jeff, you're welcome. And Mark reports flurries at Inland Steel. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, we've got some rain still mixing in spots as well this evening. Mark, I don't see anything big here tonight. Nothing big snow-wise. We might get into more snow shower activity later on tonight, but overall, this isn't really going to stay a whole lot. So Sharon says our brand new snowblower cut out on us. Sharon, do you have the receipt? Take that thing back. You can return anything nowadays. Sometimes they tell you to keep it. I don't know if anyone's dealt with that. Oh, Tracy, thanks. Hi from Tracy, Nick, Gracie, and Lola. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate that. Oh, Andrew, thank you, buddy. You're absolutely welcome. That's my job. DK, you're welcome as well. Maxwell, you're welcome, buddy. I appreciate it. And Mark, I know you meant to type thanks. You're missing an N, though, buddy. Anyway, well, if no one has questions, I feel like we got through a lot and we explained most of it. So I hope that helps. As we get closer to this winter storm next week, we'll be able to tell, exactly where that track's going to go. Hopefully 48 hours out, we'll have a pretty good picture of it. But I think on Sunday night, when we do our next Region Weather Live, we'll have post updates until then. But I think we should have a pretty good handle on how next week will evolve on that Sunday night Region Weather Live. So just a couple questions. I mean, I assume most of you enjoy this format. Do you guys enjoy the mix of graphics and video, or do you prefer more video like this, or video forecasts? Because I've toyed around with, recording a quick video in the morning or whenever it happens to be, throwing it up on our site so you can watch it whenever. I enjoy personally the interactivity that we have because you can ask questions. I understand where you guys are in terms of thinking and all that. But I love feedback. So if you guys have any feedback on anything you like to see that maybe we're not doing, I would certainly welcome that. That would be great. So Andrew needs some thunder snow before the winter's over. Andrew, we tried with that last storm system, didn't we? I didn't see any in Indiana. I didn't see any reports whatsoever. Okay, awesome, Max. Thank you, buddy. Chris likes more. Chris wants more extreme weather stories. Appreciate that. Jeff's asking about Friday. Jeff, we covered it earlier in the broadcast. No problem, no bud. So Friday, we're going to be dealing with a pretty potent clipper in here. But much of the day Friday, if you're talking about daytime Friday, the day's going to be fine. We're going to get this burst right here that you see, probably 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That may put down a quick coating of snow, but then we're going to warm up. It should melt off. So much of the day Friday, we're kind of in the envelope of this storm system where the cold air is north. The warm part already went by us. Temperatures will be mid-30s. Friday during the day doesn't look like a big deal at all. Friday evening, we bring an Arctic front in, though. That's not going to be a huge deal, but we're likely going to see a quick squall of snow where we have a burst of heavy snow. The wind picks up and it gets sharply colder after that. So we're talking Friday late, probably evening. I would say late afternoon into evenings when we need to watch, and then we'll see some lake effect snow beyond that. Lake effect totals don't look crazy at this point. Maybe a couple inches. It doesn't look too crazy as of right now. Mark, I know I can't change the background color of these. I know. And I've tried other sites. I like my sites that I use. I've used them for forecasting for years, and I'm too stubborn to change it. So I'm sorry. Jody, thanks for the feedback. Sharon, I appreciate it as well. Tim, thank you, buddy. Susan likes it too. Okay, awesome, Kristen. Thank you guys. Oh, the feedback. You guys are awesome at feedback. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Chandra, I'm glad you, or Chandra, I'm glad you say that, because I tend to feel like I'm geeking out sometimes, and I want to make sure it's useful to you guys. So as long as you like geeking out with me, that's great. Aaron, thank you. Jeff, no problem whatsoever. That's totally fine. DK says our family enjoys it as it is. Our girls love listening, watching, and reading fun comments. That's awesome, DK. Yeah, I still have plans down the road. I need some time to open up. But I'll tell you, I have plans down the road to do some shows for kids in terms of interactivity and stuff like that. I do them in schools now locally, but just to do something on here, I think would be a lot of fun for sure. And Adrian, thank you very much for sure. Okay, guys, we'll get you on your way tonight. I do like doing the Sunday update, and I like this midweek update as well, because it kind of bridges the gap between what we were talking about Sunday and what we're talking about now, right? Because some things change. So we'll continue to do that. So we'll aim for Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. And meantime, we'll have the graphics that you need during the week, and we'll keep you updated. Beth, I love your comment. Thank you. All right, guys, enjoy your night. Get through the next 2 days. You got this. Be good workers out there. All right. See you.